So, Mr. Sears, you're not yet on my list. So, I'm going to need your P number real quick. So, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Shane Leroy Raymer. Leroy or Leroy?
Leroy.
Yep. Okay. I like Leroy. File number 23-21665FH. I have Brenda Underwood, P41009, appearing on behalf of the defendant, and I have Dan Gumto, but state your full name and your P number, please.
Your Honor, Nicholas Sears on behalf of people. Nicholas Andrew Sears. I am appearing under Michigan Court Rule 8.120, I believe, which is the observation while waiting for my bar results.
Okay, very good. All right, you had your hand up?
Yes, I fired her due to misrepresentation.
When did you fire her?
Over 2 weeks ago.
Was that in front of me?
No, that was in her office but the reason I fired her.
Well, do you have another attorney?
I will represent myself.
You're gonna represent yourself.
Yes.
You know, there's a very famous quote about representing yourself. Do you understand that?
Yes.
That, you know, do you have a law degree?
I don't need a law
Do you have a
degree.
college degree?
I don't need a law degree.
Did you graduate from high school?
I don't need that either.
You don't need that to represent yourself? Okay. Do you have access to, okay. So,
I have evidence that shows that the description did not match. And
well, I'm not going to get into that yet. So you're asking me today to remove Miss Underwood as your attorney,
yes,
and you want to represent yourself.
if I
Do you understand that even when I have court cases, I hire an attorney to represent me?
All right, guys, buckle up, because what you're about to witness isn't just a courtroom scene. It's a collision of egos, law, and raw defiance. Picture this: a man standing tall, saying he doesn't trust the very system built to decide his fate. He fires his lawyer, points fingers at the state, and declares he'll fight alone. This isn't a calm courtroom drama. This is tension boiling, every second ticking like dynamite. Judges don't like surprises, but today the rules are being bent, broken, and redefined. The stage is set. Michigan versus one man who refuses to bow.
Well, I can't trust anybody in this system, in this area, because they all seem to be working together. This case should have been resolved a long time ago during the appeal the first time. She should have objected when the claim was made that I matched that description 100%.
Okay, so Mr. Raymer, part of what you're saying shows to me that you don't quite understand how the court procedures work, okay? So your attorney has an obligation to ethically represent you. And so before, I would have clients come to me and say, I want you to file this and I want you to file that. And I would say, there's no basis for that. And I don't file frivolous motions, or I would say to them they have probable cause or whatever. So if you want to represent yourself, you can do that at your own risk. You have the right to represent yourself. But what I will tell you is that Miss Underwood is the bane of most prosecutors' existence, because she's a little pit bull and she doesn't put up with a lot of guff from them, and she's a tough defense attorney. So you may not like what she says, but I feel like she's always honest. So that being said, if you want to proceed and represent yourself, you can. But you understand you're going to have to file written motions. You're going to have to follow the court rules.
This is the trial, right?
No, it's a pretrial.
How is this not the trial? I was told this is going to be the trial. I'm supposed to be sitting here with a jury today.
No, you're not.
Yes, you're on.
Mr. Raymer, I schedule jury trials, and I haven't scheduled you a jury trial yet. Oh, wait, you're the one that didn't show for the pretrial. That's why. Is that why?
Your Honor, if I could speak for a second, I think the first thing we need to do is the bench warrant.
Listen closely, because here comes the storm. When the judge asks, "Do you have a degree? Do you even understand the law?" His response is a thunderclap. "I don't need it." He rejects the system's armor, believing his voice alone will cut through. But the courtroom isn't a friendly arena. It's a battlefield with rules sharper than steel. His distrust runs deep. He believes everyone is aligned against him. And right here, right now, he's ready to gamble everything on one thing: himself.
Yes. So, Mr. Reamer, you
Mr.
failed,
Reamer this morning.
yeah, he failed to appear for the pretrial conference.
That's correct.
All right,
I-
so everybody stop talking for a minute. So, Ms. Underwood, thank you for reminding me of that. Mr. Raymer, you had a final pretrial conference on December 11th, and we gave you a notice of hearing, and you failed to appear for that pretrial. And because you failed to appear for that pretrial, I canceled the jury trial because it cost me a lot of money to have a jury here. And so if you're not here for the final pretrial, I'm not going to trial until I get you here. So I actually issued a bench warrant for your arrest for failure to appear for the pretrial. Do you understand that? So Ms. Underwood's now asking for me to set aside that bench warrant. Is that what you said?
Thank you, Your Honor. He did demonstrate to the court that he can show up by showing up this morning.
Okay. So Mr. Raymer, so Ms. Underwood's asking me for me to set aside the bench warrant for your failure to appear on December 11th. Do you understand that? Speak.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And Mr. Sears, any objection to me setting aside the bench warrant since he has it today?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So Mr. Raymer, I will quash that bench warrant. And I'm sorry, I didn't look back to see that this was the original trial date. So that's my procedure. If people don't show up for a pretrial, I set the jury trial as the pretrial. Okay? Do you understand that? So that's why
Yes or
there's
no,
no jury.
Yes or no?
I did answer, ma'am.
So we're recording, so we have to hear you. So you have to speak up really loud. Okay?
I said yes.
But wait, the past catches up like a shadow. The judge throws it in his face. You missed your pretrial. That single mistake costs him a jury, sparks a bench warrant, and almost slams the door on his defense. You can hear the frustration in the judge's voice. Trials cost money. If you don't play by the schedule, the system will crush you without hesitation. Yet here he stands, demanding another chance, refusing to bend. And against all odds, the bench warrant is cleared. For a moment, it feels like the underdog just scored.
Louder.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Mr. Raymer, all right. So Ms. Underwood and Mr. Sears, this is a date and time set for pretrial. Mr. Raymer, I have your attorneys did file all the paperwork. Ms. Underwood, do you want to speak to Mr. Raymer for a moment?
Your Honor, I'm not sure that would do any good.
Okay. So
If
Mr.
Mr. Raymer would like to speak to me, I am more than happy to speak to Mr. Raymer at this point.
So I'm going to quash the bench warrant. Mr. Raymer, if you want to sit down and talk with Ms. Underwood and see if you can meet a common ground, I would highly recommend that. You know, if you want to take 5 minutes or 10 minutes and talk to her, you can do that.
She's not been representing me appropriately.
All right. So do you understand you don't get another public defender?
Well, I fired her and I talked to this man. Are you Mr. Glacier?
No, that's Mr. Glazer.
Who was it that was in the office with us?
That was
That
me.
was Mr. Malero.
Okay, Mr. Malero and her why was he in the office when?
'Cause he's-
in the,
All right. So Mr. Raymer, if you are firing Miss Underwood, or I can grant that, but I don't have the ability to appoint another public defender to represent you.
No,
They are a separate entity.
If I can't get somebody to represent me that's doing the job appropriately, then I will represent myself. Because I can prove that I was not that person that they're claiming.
That's what a jury trial's for.
But the clash only intensifies. His lawyer, Underwood, is described as a pit bull, feared by prosecutors, relentless in battle. Yet he calls her untrustworthy, useless to his cause. The system says she's done her duty, filed motions, fought dismissals, played her role. But to him, it's betrayal. This is where courtroom drama morphs into a showdown of loyalty versus strategy. She wants him to trust her fire. He wants her gone. And in this deadly tug of war, one truth cuts through. Sometimes your biggest fight isn't against the law. It's against those meant to defend you.
Yeah, and when it comes to the jury trial, then I will take care of it there. But I don't need somebody that's not gonna represent me appropriately.
Okay, well, I really doubt that she isn't appropriately representing you, but, so Mr. Glazier and Mr. Malaro, he's asking for me to, he's asking to fire Miss Underwood, so,
If I may, Your Honor.
yes?
Your Honor, I vetted, Mr. Raymer's claims about Ms. Underwood's representation. My understanding, she conducted a preliminary examination. She also filed a motion to dismiss, I believe, that was heard and ruled on by this court. I have not determined that she's done anything that did not require, or that was not required of her. And so I denied Mr. Raymer's request to appoint a new attorney. For one of the reasons was that a trial date was imminent and it would be almost impossible for any attorney to get up to speed. Ms. Underwood is clearly ready to go to trial in this case. I think, as the court, I think, is aware, Mr. Raymer just doesn't like what he hears. So that is the reason I denied his request to have another attorney appointed in this matter, because Ms. Underwood's doing everything she can do on his behalf.
So, Mr. Raymer, I guess I would ask, she held a preliminary exam, which is what you do to dispute the charges, and the judge ruled, whoever heard this, that there was probable cause and bound you over, right? Yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then she filed a motion to dismiss, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I denied that.
Yeah, because you was.
What else is she supposed to do?
You was given false information. All she had to do is object and let it be known.
Here's where the air shifts. The court lays it out. No new public defender, no second safety net. Fire her, and you stand alone in the storm. Most people would fold, cling to their lawyer, and pray. But not him. He demands freedom from her grip, declaring he'll prove the truth himself. The stakes? Astronomical. Because once you walk alone, there's no lifeline, no backpedal, no one to shield you from the courtroom's fire. It's bold, reckless, maybe even suicidal. But it's also raw, unfiltered defiance.
That I did not match the description of the person.
That's for a jury to decide.
No, that's for the.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you were trying to explain the law to me. So if you do not want her as your attorney, I will remove her
Yes,
as your
I do not
attorney.
want her as my attorney.
All right, so Ms. Underwood, you are relieved of your duties. So Mr. Raymer, you can either hire an attorney or proceed as you are. So I will get another jury trial date. Mr. Raymer, you will need to file with the court jury instructions and voir dire questions. And those are going to need to be filed by a certain date.
And how do I go about doing that?
I can't tell you because I can't give legal advice. That's why you had an attorney. So you're going to have to figure that out on your own.
Okay, well.
I can't give you legal advice as a judge.
That's all right.
That's what Miss Underwood was for.
But she wasn't doing her job.
She did do her job.
No, she
But-
failed.
I'm not going to argue with Mr. Raymer. So Miss Adams, I'm looking for a trial date.
Judge, you want me to find the first available?
He's not in custody. It's a 1-day trial, so sure, but he's not in custody, so.
First available is April 22nd at 9 a.m.
Does that work for you, Mr. Sears?
Your Honor, that does work for the people.
All right, does that work for you? Okay, so I'm gonna set trial for April 22nd of 2025 at 9 a.m. And I'm gonna set a final pre-trial for Miss Adams. Do I have April 9 available?
The prosecutor steps in, hammering the facts. Underwood fought for him, preliminary hearings, dismissal motions, all executed. She's battle-tested and ready for trial. But he won't hear it. He doesn't want facts. He wants loyalty. He doesn't want process. He wants belief. To the state, it's clear this man just doesn't like the truth. But to him, it's betrayal stacked on betrayal. In the end, the judge makes it final. Underwood is gone. No shield, no backup. Now it's him versus the entire machine. Next.
Yes, Judge.
So a final pretrial for April 9 at 8:30 a.m. So was there a plea offer made in this file, Mr. Sears?
Your Honor, yes, there was. Would you like me to place what the offer was?
I always do, yes. I keep that in my file. Thank you.
Your Honor,
You're not on this file anymore. Thank you.
Just 1 second while my computer, it is slow, Your Honor. It looks like the final plea offer provided from my office was 2 counts of an attempted RMO.
All right, so Mr. Raymer, do you understand the plea offer was to plead to 2 misdemeanors?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so those are 1-year misdemeanors, so it'd be 2 1-year misdemeanors in lieu of the 5-year felony, because you have, 4-year felony, police officer assaulting and resisting causing injury, and you have 2 2-year felonies for police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing, and 1 misdemeanor for disorderly person. Are there any body cams? Were those provided to Mr. Raymer?
Yes, I believe a discovery was sent to obviously the public defenders.
Okay.
If you would, obviously you would need any additional body cams or discovery, we would ask that Mr. Raymer come to the prosecutor's office and receive any discovery that he would want in person. Call ahead and they can get it.
Okay. So I'm going to set the final motion deadline for 4/9/25. And then motion in limine for the same day as well.
The future tightens like a noose. The judge sets a new trial date, April 22nd, 2025. Final pretrial. April 9th, the clock is ticking. Deadlines are everywhere. Jury instructions, witness lists, legal documents, all now his responsibility. And here's the brutal twist. The judge can't guide him, can't give him the tools, because the system isn't built to help rebels. You either follow the rules or get crushed by them. It's like being dropped in the middle of a battlefield with nothing but bare fists. Next.
Jury instructions and voir dire questions will be due by April 2nd of 25. And so those must be filed with, you must provide a copy to the prosecutor's office of your voir dire questions and jury instructions, and a copy to the court on the 3rd floor of the clerk's office.
And that can be wrote out on a blank piece of paper?
No, they must be provided in full and filled out.
Okay, where would I go to get those forms?
There, you can do research on the computer.
All right,
I mean,
that's fine.
this is why, Mr. Raymer, when you're dealing with a felony and you're facing trial,
Yeah.
it's important to have an attorney. And it
Yeah,
doesn't
one
sound,
that's doing their job, yes, I understand that.
well, you haven't presented anything to me that says she hasn't done what she's supposed to do so far. So, Mr. Raymer, there's no legal services available for indigent defendants other than the public defender's office. And, you could hire an attorney, but these things are required. If you don't file them, then you don't get to add them the day of trial. Do you understand that?
What is that, the evidence? I don't get to add any evidence during the day of trial?
Well, you must submit it as exhibits and witness lists. Have you got to exchange those with the?
All the body cam would be considered already submitted, correct?
So you have to provide witness lists and a list of exhibits to the prosecutor's office, to my office, and then you must provide copies of that to them.
And where do I find your office at?
3rd floor clerk's office.
Okay.
Okay, but then you have to provide a copy to the prosecutor too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll probably head over there for you.
But by law, Mr. Raymer, I can't give legal advice because I'm a judge.
Yes, sure.
Okay. So, Ms. Adams, could I please get a copy of this from Mr. Raymer? And I'm gonna put little asterisks. Do you want Mr. Raymer's file? Are you sure you do not want to proceed with counsel?
I would prefer to have counsel, but I don't want her representing me.
Okay, well, that's your choice, but your other option is to hire someone. Thank you. All right,
Next voice hand comes the final gut punch. The plea deal hits the table, plead guilty to 2 misdemeanors, dodge the heavy felonies, and walk out lighter. To some, it's salvation. To him, It's poison, because accepting means surrendering, bending, admitting guilt to something he swears he didn't do. The judge explains the path, the prosecutor confirms discovery, and the deadlines close in like iron bars. But through it all, one thing is crystal clear: this isn't just a trial. It's rebellion versus order. One man versus the machine. And when April 22nd comes, the gavel will fall, but whether it crushes him or frees him, that's the fight we're all waiting to see.